All right, so we're going to be creating an assembly drawing tonight that consists of one of these 6 drawings that you see on your screen. Your choice, you can choose which one you would like. Then after you choose which one you're going to be drawing, you're going to draw it in SolidWorks. After you create the drawing in SolidWorks, you're then going to create 2 more pieces that can attach to or can be assembled to one of these drawings. For instance, with this number 1, after you draw this number 1 piece, you could make a pipe that sits in the middle of this bracket here. And maybe you have a bolt that goes through this slot. For this one, maybe you could make a piece that slides in here, and then you've got 2 bolts that go down through and attach to it. Now, I don't know. I'm just adding in some ideas. Maybe you draw this one and you have a propeller with a shaft that goes through here with a pin that goes into the shaft, or some bolts that bolt this thing down to something. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. So you're going to, for the assignment, draw one of these, create 2 more drawings of something that you can attach to this. Then we're going to assemble all 3 parts together, and we're going to create an animation video of that assembly. Okay, so this video is going to show you how to create all those different parts. So I'm going to create in SolidWorks. I'm going to do drawing number 4 of those 6 that I showed you. I'm going to do number 4. So I'm going to create a new part. And I'm going to go with a right plane extrude. I'm going to start with a circle on the center point. I'm going to get a line. And then I'm going to trim this off. So that's the general shape of that one. Now let's give it some dimensions until I can get this thing defined. Make sure you're in inches here. So I know that this piece, let's see, the size of this is I know the size of that is a 2-inch radius. And I know that the size of this is 5 inches. From the end here to the center of the circle needs to be 7 inches. This is a 3-inch piece. I know that from the center of the circle to this bottom, this has got to be a 3-inch. And I know that this is a 1-inch. All right, fully defined, very good. So I'm going to exit the sketch. And this thing is 7 inches wide. That's the general shape. I'm going to come here And I'm going to extrude a cut of a rectangle from the bottom up to the top. And I know that from here to here, there's got to be 1 inch. And I know that from here to here, there's got to be 1 inch. Again, fully defined. Exit. And we're going to cut this through all. Bodies to keep, we're going to keep all the bodies. Now there's a bottom piece that goes across, so I'm going to work on this face. I'm going to extrude a boss base with a rectangle. And I know that rectangle has got to be 1 inch tall. Try that again. 1 inch tall by 5 inches long. It's fully defined, so let's exit the sketch. And I want this to go up to the next item, so I'm going to say up to next. Check mark. And that puts in that piece. And now there's also a vertical piece in here. So I'm going to go to here. Extrude boss base with a rectangle. I'm going to start right at that. And I'm going to end it right at this corner here. I know that's 1 inch already. Exit. And I know this thing is supposed to be 3 inches tall. Check mark. And the last piece is going to be cutting the 1 inch hole here. So I'm going to extrude a cut with a circle starting at the origin. I'm going to smart dimension this. It's a 1 inch diameter. And exit, it's going to go through both. I want it to go through both pieces. And there is the original first piece. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do for my other 2 pieces is I have a distance of 2 inches from the center of this circle over to the face of this. I've got 2 inches. So I'm going to use this kind of like a toilet paper dispenser. I'm going to make a roll of toilet paper with a hole through the middle. And then I'm going to create a pin that's going to go through both of these pieces. And that's going to be my assembly. I'm not going to show you how to draw those. It's just going to be basically a 1.75 radius circle that is like 4 3/4 inches. I know I've got 5 inches in between here and here. So I'm going to make it 4 3/4 inches. So my roll of toilet paper is going to fit in between here. And then I'm going to make a 1 inch by 7 inch pin that slides right in the middle here. So I'm going to pause this, create those, and then I'll show you the assembly. Okay, so now I'm going to create my assembly. And I'm going to pin down this. So to start, pin it down, browse. Hopefully yours show up. Well, I don't remember what I called mine. There we go. So page 65, part number 4. I'm going to drop this one off. I need to browse. Here's my roll of toilet paper. That would be this one here. Put this back here and browse for my pin. And that would be this one. I'm gonna put this here. And check mark. Okay, so I have everything here. So now I'm gonna assemble these things. So I'm gonna start by making the open shaft through here. I'm gonna make it concentric with the holes that go through here. So I'm gonna create a mate, and I'm gonna go concentric with the inner hole here, not the outside edge, but the inner hole, and the inner hole here. And you can see that they're, oops. Check mark if that's done. Now I should be able to slide this and it should go right, should keep the circles concentric. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna line it up. I'm gonna center it right in the middle of the two end pieces, okay? So I've got that centered in the middle now. Now I'm still in the mate. So now I'm gonna say I want this inner surface and this inner or outer surface to be aligned. Single check. Now you'll see that it should slide right through. And I'm going to make, to finish this off, I'm going to make this face, the face of this outer edge here, and the face of this outer edge here, coincident, check mark, and check mark one more time to say that I'm done. Okay, so now I have this assembly all put together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a video or an animation of these pieces being put together. Okay, so hopefully I remember how to do this. If we go up to exploded view up here, and I click on this inner piece here, it's going to ask me which way do I want to pull it. So I'm going to grab this arrow and I'm going to slide the pin out this way. Good. And let's see. Now I'm going to click on this piece and I'm going to pull it up this direction. And I'm going to apply my changes. And I'm going to say that I'm done. Okay, I'm going to check mark that I have created that. Okay, if I right mouse click on my assembly, I should be able to go collapse and it should go back together. Right mouse click, explode, and they should go apart. Okay. So now here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to create an animation of putting these things together, and then spin it around and then take them back apart. So to do that, we're going to create this animation. So by creating this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to this motion study 1. And I'm going to click on animation wizard. And I'm going to go explode. Next. And I want the duration of this to be like 4 seconds. They're not, they're not very big, so I don't need to have a lot of seconds between these things. Let's see what that looks like. If I click on this play, it creates a 4-second animation pulling our parts apart. Okay, let's go back to the animation wizard. And let's say we want to rotate our model. Next. Number of rotations, just one. And which axis do we want to rotate it around? Let's go around this y-axis. It'll spin all around the y-axis. So I'm going to leave it at the y-axis here. Next. How long do we want it to take to spin around? Maybe 5 seconds. I don't know. I don't want it to take too long, so I'll go 5 seconds. And if we play that part, you'll see that it'll spin it around. Good. Let's go back to the animation wizard. And let's say, okay, now we want to collapse this thing. We've exploded it, rotated it. Now let's collapse it. Next. And we're going to go the duration, the same amount that it took to explode it. So we're going to go 4 seconds. And this right here is just the running time. We took 4 seconds to pull it apart, 5 seconds to rotate it. So that's 9. And now we're going to add another 4 seconds to that. So let's finish it and play that part. And then it just puts them back together. Okay, so let's take a look at the entire thing. Play from the start. Pulls the pegs out, the roll out, spins it around, drops the roll, puts in the pin, and it's all done. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to save this thing. Let's save animation. There's a little button right here. And let's call this, you can call yours whatever you'd like, but I'm going to call mine roll and pin assembly. And make sure that it's an AVI file. We'll save it as an AVI file so that I can see your animation. We're going to save that. And probably just leave whatever the default compression, video compression comes up with, just leave it at the default. We'll click OK. The motion study results are out of date. Do we want to recalculate them? No. It's going to go through it one more time to save it. And that should have saved onto my desktop. I hope it did. And so I'm going to pause this real quick and see if I can't find that animation. All right, so here is the animation. I'm just showing the animation now of that video. Rotate, should go back together now. Good, and it'll just keep playing. So this is what you're going to submit to me tonight. I'm not going to take your drawing files. I just want you to submit this one AVI file showing me the video of your 3 pieces that you've drawn and put together. Okay.